Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. With that being said, I hope that you're all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are out there in the world. So going back to October, I did make a post regarding Hyun Song Shin. I hope that I'm saying that name correctly. He is one of the voices behind many of the BIS documents, specifically the ones outlined the blueprint for the future monetary system. In this video, which is about roughly 2 minutes and 20 seconds long, there's a lot of major discussions around pre-funded accounts, using tokens, things like that. And I said in this video below, it sounds as if he's describing the process of eliminating pre-funded accounts using tokens. The whole video just sounds like a breakdown of XRP and on-demand liquidity. We know back in August, Ripple joined the BIS with their cross-border payments task force. In my opinion, the rule of XRP is already set in stone. I know what I hold. I could be wrong. From the documents, videos, and research I've done and seen, this is my conclusion. So check this out.
So what this type of system enables you to do is to avoid the current practice, which is to say, if I want to make a payment to a, on behalf of my client to a supplier, on another continent, what you need to do is to hold a deposit in a bank in that jurisdiction, ideally, and then just call up the bank and say, look, debit my account and credit the account of the supplier. And if you don't have an account, you have to use a correspondent bank. And if you don't even have a correspondent bank with a, with a deposit in that jurisdiction, you need to string along a whole host of different correspondent banks. Now, for that system to work, you need to hold balances at all of these different parts of the chain. And in a way, it's going back to the origins of supply chain financing, where the credit function and the payment function all are bundled together. And so it's incredibly intensive in terms of liquidity, and there are the operational challenges all along the chain. What this kind of platform can do is to just short circuit all of that. And of course, what you would need to do is, of course, convert some of your deposits into tokens. Yeah. So you cannot avoid tying up some of your deposits somewhere, but you can just do it once, and let's say just hold it in London, and then the tokens can circulate everywhere, without having to, lock up liquidity at different points, around the world, together with all the other problems that go along with that. Now, how far are we from seeing these things in action? Well, we've done experiments and they work. What we need to do is to make sure that we can actually build this to scale, and build it so that they have the resilience that will really stand the test of real world use. But the technology is pretty clear, and this is not experimental technology.
So there you guys have it. And again, he is talking about when can we see this in action. They already have confirmation that this works, right? These things work. They already did test trials, runs with all of this. A few of the names I do know that the BIS is working with from this community, from the space, I should say, is Quant, Ripple. There has been Stellar documents out there as well. And we also know that there has been some connections back to Hedera. Outside of that, a lot of the other connections come from domino effects, meaning companies tied to the BIS that are working with these other projects in this space. But we do know that Ripple is fully in bed with the BIS as well as Quant. Now, beyond this, I did make a video back in April, actually, and I was talking about the connections with the BIS and Ripple. And the thing that I found very weird was the alignment of announcements. And you're going to see why it's important for this video. So we have over here the launch of the CBDC platform back in May of 2023. This was May 18th. And then what we got later on was the XRP is not a security. This is July 14th, pretty much just 2 months later. And then We get a month later after that, Ripple joins the BIS Cross-Border Payments Task Force. And then following this up, the recent announcement of the stablecoin on April 4th was a big deal. And then beyond that, guess what we saw from the BIS? 3 announcements directly after this, 5 days after this, all talking about stablecoins and the regulatory approaches to stablecoins as well, and also even issuers behind this as well, which I found very, very interesting because, again, it aligns perfectly with what Ripple is focused on. But then we got something even crazier, and this happened today or yesterday, if you will. The BIS has today published a paper on decentralized finance DeFi lending. Big shout out to Bank XRP for this. It got posted on May 3rd. And this is a substantial amount of pages. It's roughly 54 pages. So, of course, with the help of AI, I did summarize this. So here is the full summary. The document is a research paper titled Why DeFi Lending, Evidence from Avi V2 that explores the motivations driving investors to engage in decentralized finance lending using data from Avi, a leading player in the DeFi lending market. Now, here's the introduction to it. Here's the abstract. Decentralized finance lending protocols have seen significant growth recently. Avi, a leading player in the DeFi lending market, reveals that liquidity provision in DeFi lending pools is driven by the search for yield. Borrowing activity, on the other hand, is influenced by speculative and governance motives. Retail and large investors both seek high returns through market movements and price speculation, but large investors engage in DeFi borrowing more to influence protocol decisions and gain governance rights. And then here's the introduction as well to the first stage. So this section discusses the motivations behind decentralized finance lending and highlights the unique nature of this form of lending compared to traditional finance. DeFi lending is the practice of offering and obtaining loans directly through blockchain technology, bypassing traditional intermediaries. Participants in DeFi lending can lend or borrow assets anonymously without credit assessments. Crypto assets are used as collateral in DeFi lending, leading to over-collateralization and limited interaction with the real economy. Automation and smart contracts enable instant loan disbursement and reduce transaction costs in DeFi lending. The health factor, a measure of collateral value compared to borrowings, is high for most users in the Avi protocol. DeFi lending volume is still modest compared to traditional finance, but the rapid growth and lack of supervision warrant close monitoring. Investors are attracted to DeFi lending for the search for yield, speculative reasons, and governance motives. Retail and large investors have different borrowing behaviors in DeFi lending, with retail investors showing FOMO behaviors and large investors engaging more in governance motives. Then, of course, we have data, stylized facts, and testable hypothesis. This section focuses on the activity of Avi, a lending protocol on the Ethereum chain. Discusses the total amount deposited and also borrowed, the distribution of transactions by token, and the inclusion of additional financial and crypto market variables in the analysis. The section also introduces the 3 hypotheses tested in the paper. So, again, and we're not too far away from the bottom of this. Let's actually look at this. So number 1, the database consists of borrow and deposit transaction data from the Avi V2 protocol from December of 2020 to about roughly mid-July 2022. Over 200 billion have been cumulatively deposited into the Avi protocol during this period. Borrowing activity initially grew rapidly after the launch of Avi V2, reaching over $8 billion, but slowed down afterwards. Wrapped Ether is most deposited token, while stablecoins like USDC, Tether, and DAI dominate the borrowing transactions. The paper tests 3 hypotheses: yield-seeking deposits, speculative borrowing, and the use of lending protocols for increasing voting power. The data set is augmented with additional financial and crypto market variables, including U.S. Treasury securities yields and the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. The summary statistics show the mean, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, and also quartiles for the depositing and borrowing samples. Bond yield indicators have fewer observations due to market closures over weekends, but DeFi indicators have data for weekends. Now, down here, again, we have the motives behind this, how it fully works. The main thing to really kind of take away from all of this, right, because I don't want to go over every single thing in here, the overall conclusion down here is what we are more so focused on. So we have The analysis of investors' behavior in DeFi lending protocols reveals that the search for yield in a low interest rate environment is a significant factor in liquidity provision, particularly for retail users. Speculative motives drive both retail and large investors' borrowing decisions, with retail investors showing fear of missing out behaviors. Large scale investors engage more in DeFi borrowing for governance motives. And then down here, we have a little bit of a process of depositing and borrowing in Avi. It really kind of just shows you how it works. And then down here, we also have those transactions. This is where we kind of see the overall growth behind Avi, and it shows you how significant it is. And again, just going back up here, the reason why I wanted to read over some of these sections is simply to give you guys an insight on just how much demand there is for these lending and borrowing networks and use cases within this space. I mean, over $220 billion has been deposited into Avi during that period. And this is just December of 2022, about roughly mid-July of 2022. So not even a full 2-year time frame, which is pretty crazy to think about. So outside of this, why am I bringing this up? Why am I talking about this? Well, it's because this is all about DeFi lending. This got posted on May 2024, May 3rd, 2024. And it's at the same exact time that, guess what? We get an announcement regarding this. Now, I believe that this was on April 12th. Yes, this was on April 12th. Today, devs, and if you guys want to go check them out, I'm not going to try to pronounce their names because I'm probably going to butcher them, but they introduced a proposal for a native lending protocol on the XRP ledger that would further expand its DeFi capabilities. Let's break down what this means for the ecosystem. The proposed lending protocol would empower users to borrow and lend digital assets directly, fostering financial inclusion, transparency, and efficiency without unnecessary intermediaries. The protocol's modular design focuses on flexibility and reusability. It introduces 3 key specifications: XLS 64D, 65D, and also 66D. The first one is pseudo account, which allows associating a single pseudo account with multiple ledger entries for tracking balances and issuing tokens. Then also 65D is single asset tokenized pool, defines a new pool ledger entry for a single tokenized asset pool. 66D is the native XRP ledger lending protocol, which leverages 65D to manage liquidity provider assets and introduces off-chain underwriting, on-chain agreements, and also loan management. Then the key features here are liquidity providers deposit fungible tokens, XRP, wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped Ethereum into a lending pool to earn interest. Pool delegates manage lending pools, attracting capital and providing loans. Then borrowers and pool delegates agree on loan terms off-chain and then record them on-chain. Then we also have the lending protocol enables fixed-term loans with preset terms for interest accruing loans. It bypasses the need for collateral by using off-chain underwriting, risk management, and a first loss capital protection scheme in case of default. Loans are managed through a new loan ledger object. It handles loan financing and withdrawals, payment amounts and schedules, interest and principal payments, and also loan defaults and recovery. To align incentives and manage risk, pool delegates can provide first loss capital to cover potential defaults, which protects liquidity providers through a liquidation mechanism. For developers, the protocol's modular design and extensibility make it easy to build and integrate lending dApps onto the XRP ledger, unlocking a wide range of use cases. And again, this happened pretty much just 1 month ago. And now we're starting to see the BIS really kind of looking at DeFi lending and why this is a big deal, which I find very interesting. Now, also, we just got another update from Ripple XDev, and this is on May 1st regarding XLS 66D, which lays the foundation for a robust decentralized lending protocol native to the XRP ledger. I just find it very odd that a lot of these announcements are pretty much aligned perfectly with what Ripple is doing or what's happening around the ecosystem when it comes to XRP and the XRPL. Now, do I think that's coincidental? It possibly is, but we already do know that Ripple is working with the BIS on multiple endeavors, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if a lot of what we are now seeing around what the BIS is attempting to do with tokenization, DeFi, DLTs, things like that, it wouldn't surprise me if XRP and the XRPL were in their scope. Why do I say this? It's because the XRPL has been around for well over a decade plus. It's been tested on multiple occasions in various ways and at scale, and it is one of the most trusted DLTs within this space. So that's why I really kind of look at this and I look at the connections. And it's just very interesting. Let me know what you guys think, though, down in the comments below, though. I love to hear your thoughts. If you guys did enjoy the video, though, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.